When I'm working with a beginner swimmer on the pool deck, the main thing I see that a beginner swimmer is going to struggle with is their breathing. And as soon as I tell them to hold their breath and just work on mechanics, they realize that they don't need to breathe quite so frequently when they're focused on something else. So today I want to talk a little bit about the meaning behind hypoxic breathing and what it means or what it feels like to do some breath control sets within your swim workout. So when I like to do breath control sets, I actually like to wear a pull buoy. If you have hand paddles, that would be great. But I like to take the kick out of the equation by wearing that pull buoy. And I like to specify certain breathing patterns that the athlete can do, whether it's breathe every 4 strokes, 6 strokes, 8 strokes, 10 strokes, or if they're a bilateral breather, maybe it's 3, 5, 7, 9 strokes. And over time, when you start to incorporate more strokes per breath, you start to get that feeling of what it's like to actually be breathless. So sometimes a beginner feels like they're breathlessness when they're really not. It's usually a mind thing. So doing these hypoxic breath control type of sets where you start to increase the amount of strokes you take per breath, usually every 25 yards. So something that I like to do is I like to start with 100, where the first length I'm breathing every 3, the second length I'm breathing every 5, third length I'm breathing every 7, and then the fourth length I'm breathing every 9th. That's a way to incorporate some hypoxic swimming. Now, it's good to note that you should never do any type of lower breath control sets if you're alone in the pool. Make sure you obviously breathe when you need to. Just because your goal is trying to take 9 strokes per breath doesn't mean you necessarily should. So if you need a breath before that stroke count, obviously take a breath, because there is a little bit of danger involved for those advanced swimmers like myself who try to swim maybe a 25 or swim a 50 with no breath. I feel like I'm experienced, I've done that, but I also know that feeling that I don't want to pass out. So before you try any breath control sets, there's a little disclaimer that I wanted to say. But the 3 main reasons I like to incorporate hypoxic sets, breath control sets, into an athlete swim program is, number 1, it's just a way for them to work on mechanics where they take breathing out of the equation. They can keep their head down, unless they have a snorkel, but they keep their head down and they're just working on the underwater catch and pull mechanics of the stroke by taking breathing out of the equation. Number 2, if you're an open water swimmer or triathlete and you start to get anxiety and a little bit breathless at the start of an event, having this breath control that you've worked on in the pool is going to help overcome that anxiety and feeling breathless at the start of the event. And number 3, it's a way to go anaerobic without putting in an effort. Anaerobic means without oxygen. So when you're limiting the amount of times you're breathing, limiting the frequency of your breathing, in a way your body's not using oxygen and you're going into that anaerobic state without putting in the effort in your stroke. So there you have it, a little summary of what it means to do hypoxic breathing, breath control in your sets. I'd love you to try it. Comment below, let me know how it goes, or if you have any questions, just leave it in the comment section, and make it a great day.